All right, here's a couple of trig questions, and they sort of push your understanding of what the ratios are. So this first one, it says that the cosecant ratio of an angle is equal to 1.1. Well, I know that the cosecant ratio is a reciprocal of sine. So if sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, that means that cosecant theta is hypotenuse over opposite. But my problem is that I don't have a fraction. Like, I'd like to assign a number to the top and to the bottom. But what you could do is you could change that decimal to a fraction. So you could say, well, cosecant theta is 1.1 over 1. So you could use 1.1 for the hypotenuse, and you could use 1 for the opposite side. But decimals are a little awkward. So what I would probably suggest is just times the top by 10 and times the bottom by 10. So what you come up with on the top would be 11, and on the bottom, 1 times 10 is 10. So let's use 11 for the hypotenuse, and let's use 10 for the opposite side. So let's draw a triangle. Here's a triangle. Here's the angle in question. That's my theta. So the hypotenuse, which is this side, is 11, and the opposite side is the one over here, which is 10. Now, so I know what the cosecant ratio is. I have to get all the other ones. But the reciprocal one, this one, the sine one, is easy because you just flip it over. So it'd be 10 over 11. But if I wanted to, say, go for the cosine ratio, that's adjacent over hypotenuse. Yes, I know the hypotenuse is 11, but I don't know the adjacent side. So in order to find the adjacent side, I'll use Pythagoras. So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. C is 11, is equal to a squared plus the opposite side. There's 10 squared. And so this would be 121 plus 100. Subtract 100 on each side, and then take the square root of both sides. So A, or the adjacent side, is root 21. So I can put that right there. Now, if I know the cosine, I'll also know the reciprocal of cosine, which is secant, and that'll be 11 over root 21. And then if I want to know the tan of the angle, that's the opposite side over the adjacent side. Opposite side is 10. Adjacent side, I just figured it out, it's right there, is root 21. And so the cotan will be the reciprocal of this, which is root 21 over 10. Now, the only other thing that I would do with this question is, typically this book doesn't like to have a radical on the bottom like this. So if there's a radical on the bottom, you can rationalize that by multiplying the top and bottom by root 21. So this one, the secant ratio would be 11 root 21 over root 21 times root 21 is root of 441, and the square root of that is just 21. And I do the same thing with the tangent ratio here. Multiply both top and bottom by root 21, so I'd get 10 root 21 over 21. Okay, so there's those other 5 function values. Now, the next question, they say the exact value. If they're looking for the exact value of a ratio, then they're referring to this table. And we've set up exact values for certain angles. So 34, 45, and 60. And all you have to do is read it off the table. So if they want to know what the tan of 30 is, here's tan, there's 30, so right there. Answer, root 3 over 3. All right, hopefully that helps you with those 2 questions.